Amelia Mackay.
Amelia, I appreciate how painful this is for you. And on behalf of the court, I'd like to thank you for putting yourself through this in order to establish the truth. 4 years ago, Evan Jerome was killed. Could you please tell the court exactly what happened that night?
There was a ball that evening. I had danced some with Duke and some with Evan. After a while, I just grew tired, and I went up to my room to rest. Evan followed me up to my room. I didn't... Before I could stop him, he broke into my room. And I demanded to know what he was doing there. He said that he wanted me. I refused. But he said that he'd have me one way or the other. And he attacked me. He threw me down on the bed, and then we struggled. And he hit me several times. I tried screaming, but I tried to fight back. He was too strong for me. And Evan tried to rape me.
And then what happened?
I didn't know what to do. I tried pushing him away from me, but he came back at me. And so I just lashed out at him, but the only thing I could find was a candlestick, and I hit him as hard as I could. I didn't mean to kill him. I just wanted him to get away from me. Oh, God, I would do anything to have Evan alive today. I killed a man. I'll never forget it.
No more questions, Samuel.
Miss Mackay, are you all right? Would you like a short recess?
No, please. I'd like to get this over with.
Your witness. A very impressive performance, Miss Mackay. Both here on the stand at your father's house 4 years ago.
What do you mean?
You mentioned there was a ball that night Evan Jerome was murdered.
Yes.
And you said you danced with Mr. Jerome.
Yes.
How many times? Did you spend the entire evening in your victim's arms, Miss Mackay?
No.
But you did dance with him more than once.
Yes.
Did Evan force his attentions on you?
Not downstairs, no.
On the contrary, you actively encouraged him, didn't you?
No.
You flirted with Evan Jerome all evening. You did everything in your power to seduce him, didn't you?
It was...
And the poor man snapped at your bait, never realizing how much your charms would be fatal.
It was just a game.
A deadly game, Miss Mackay.
But I didn't mean it to end that way.
Well, then how did you mean it to end? Surely you didn't want your family to know that you had slept with a man who was the rival of their deadly...
I didn't sleep with him.
You knew you couldn't let Jerome breathe a word of your one-night stand, didn't you? So you silenced him.
No!
Can't you do something to stop him?
Your Honor, we strongly object to this demeaning line of questioning.
Your Honor, I have no more questions for Miss Mackay. I think her testimony speaks for itself.
Well, the hell with the people. You're the best police chief this town has ever had.
Come on, Frisco. I was certainly the least appreciated. You know, I was a public official, and I had to answer to the people of Port Charles, and I got some of the questions wrong.
How are you supposed to trust the judgment of idiots?
I lost their trust, totally. Without that, I couldn't do my job.
Have you heard how Duke's case is going?
No. I don't care to hear either.
Aren't you the least bit curious?
No, I'm not. I don't care. I see. What's the matter? You've been crying. What is it?
Just a little.
What is it, darling?
It's just that all my friends are so mean to me. Even my best friends. I don't know what to do, Mommy. They say such awful things about you and Uncle Duke.
Oh. This is why I don't care what's going on in Lorleans.
So help you God.
I do.
State your name.
Duke Lavery.
Duke, you and your father discovered Camellia after her near rape, didn't you?
Yes.
How did you happen to come to her room?
We heard her screams.
Well, would you tell the court what you found when you got there?
Evan was dead. Camellia, she was in shock. She looked half dead. She was badly bruised, and her clothes were torn.
Did she say anything to you and your father?
She said Evan had tried to rape her.
Did she admit killing him?
No.
Oh.
She said she had hit him with a candlestick. At that point, I don't think she knew Evan was dead.
Well, tell me, whose decision was it to conceal his death?
My father suggested it, and I went along with him.
Why?
He said Camellia would be killed when Evan's family found out what she'd done. And others would die, too.
Others?
In a mob war.
Oh.
But that wasn't the only reason I went along with my father. I was worried about Camellia.
Worried? How?
As I said, at the time she was in shock. My father felt that a police interrogation would be more than she could bear. You have to understand, Camellia was always a very sensitive and highly strung child. If she'd been interrogated by the police, it would have pushed her over the edge, possibly forever. And we didn't want that to happen.
No further questions, Your Honor.
Your witness.
Mr. Lavery, you didn't actually witness the alleged attack, did you? What do you mean?
I mean, what you were led to believe was an attempted rape. Did you or did you not see it?
Well, no, of course I didn't see it happen.
Then, for all you know, it could have happened the other way around, couldn't it? Miss Mackay could have attacked Evan.
Hardly.
This court isn't interested in hearsay, Mr. Lavery. We're charged with determining facts. And the fact is, you haven't the slightest idea what happened in Miss Mackay's bedroom on the night Evan Jerome was murdered, have you?
I believe Camellia.
Answer the question.
I couldn't say exactly what went on.
Then, for all we know, Miss Mackay could have set Evan up, couldn't she?
Your Honor, once again, I must object to this line of questioning.
I withdraw the question, Your Honor.
You may proceed, but let us leave supposition to the detectives, shall we? And as you have just been reminding the defendant, we are charged with determining facts.
Yes, Your Honor. Mr. Lavery, you admitted that you did not know what went on in Miss Mackay's bedroom at the time in question. Did you happen to notice her with Evan earlier in the evening?
Yes.
Will you describe to this court how your sister behaved toward Evan at that time? Say, for example, frowning and obviously ill at ease?
No, I wouldn't say that.
Let me repeat the question. How did Miss Mackay behave toward Evan on the dance floor?
She was behaving very seductively.
Seductively? You mean to tell this court Miss Mackay was trying to lure Evan into her bed? Your Honor, what are you to make of a woman who seduces an innocent man, then cries rape and kills him?
This court is now in recess.